Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So this is my Black Aces Tactical Pro Series R semi-automatic shotgun. It's gas operated with a piston. It's more of a budget option in mind with a kind of tactical look to it. But I did a full review on this, and this cleaning video is actually going to be kind of a cleaning slash continuation of that review because I did find another issue with this particular shotgun, and we'll talk about it during the cleaning process. So let's dive in. First things first, when you're cleaning, you want to make sure you're unloaded, nothing in the mag tube, nothing in the chamber, and then you want to make sure you have all of your stuff you need for the cleaning. So what I recommend is if you have any blue shop towels, these actually work really well for some of the larger things like a semi-automatic shotgun that has a lot of fouling in here. A lot of the gas and debris and stuff kind of spits back into here. You'll see that in a second. You may want a polymer pick to kind of get some of these nooks and crannies in here. You may opt for the Hops number 9, which is a solvent. Typically, I just use CLP in these little dropper bottles for lubrication and kind of putting on the patches to kind of get this a good clean. But Hops works really well for a lot of large area cleanup. Cloth patches, these are kind of just generic. These are the ones I use for almost everything though. I mean, look, it's up to like 30-30, 9mm, whatever you need. Then if you want, you can use some gloves. A lot of this stuff is pretty dirty. Using chemicals, you want to protect your hands a little bit. And what I recommend for the shotgun, especially the barrel portion here, is going to be one of these bore snakes. Now this is a 12 gauge sized bore snake, and you kind of see it's got the nice long rope to kind of go in here, run it through the barrel, and then you can kind of see this like wire brass little brushes in there already on the rope for really kind of cleaning this out. And then you can even wrap some patches around these and get these clean even more, and then you kind of wash these out as you go and kind of keep them clean a little bit, but they're really good for really kind of just cleaning out a lot of that carbon buildup in the barrel. So now that we talked about what you need, let's dive in. We already checked to make sure that the firearm is safe, but check again. Can never be too careful. Nothing is in there. Step 1 is actually on this end right here. There is a kind of knurled knob right here. You just need to twist. Take it off, put it to the side, and this will let you take the entire handguard off. Just like so. Exposing a very dirty gas system. Not terrible. I did put a ton of rounds through this shotgun so far. It is due for a cleaning, but it's not the end of the world. You have this right here, which is actually a click. Right here, you can click it in, kind of locks it in, some teeth on there. Take this, go to the next line of threads. Just be careful not to cross the threads. These shotguns are definitely not made of the highest quality of metals here, as we've seen. All right, now, the next step is actually to take the barrel off, so you can move this stuff out of the way. To do that, you want to, so you can do this here. There you go. So if you rack it, it seems to help it kind of push it away, and then when that pushes away, this pops out right here for easy access and cleaning. Kind of see that right in there. So there you go. Now there's 2 steps here, and this is kind of where I got stuck because this is supposed to work just fine. It doesn't. So you can actually go and flip this switch right here back, and that allows you to lock this back. And then you're supposed to simply pull this out now that the barrel is out. But it has a lot of slop in there, and I've tried everything to kind of get this out, and it's just stuck. And I don't know what they did to it or what's going on, but even in the manual, which is very poorly done, and several YouTube videos I've seen, this is supposed to just pop right out. And it does not, because you need this to pop out to get the rest of the system off, get the bolt out, and you pop this pin out to get the trigger mechanism out as well. So you're kind of stuck, and that's kind of the vibe on this build here on how they're kind of put together. So the good news is you don't have to really pull this out. I mean, it does get dirty, but the key here is to kind of clean all this up, and you can get some patches in there and clean all that up. So let's go and start with that. And unfortunately, I would love to have been able to take this down even further, get it even deeper clean. But this is kind of where we're stuck as of right now, and I don't want to just force it and break it. So I don't know why, but someone did not install this right, or maybe it's too tight in there. It is very weird. I'll move some of this stuff aside. You don't really have to clean these if you don't want to. It's not too bad in there. Start with the barrel. So you can kind of see a lot of the debris is back here. So what you want to probably start with is actually cleaning up the inside of the barrel, and then you can work on the outside, go inside to outside. And you don't necessarily have to do this as deep of a takedown or even go any further if you wanted to, because you could run a bore snake down through right here like you do with like an AR or something. You don't have to take apart everything that deep if you want to just do a quick clean. All right, so but the concept is still the same. So what you're going to do is take the end here, let it go down. And what I'm actually going to do is take a little bit of CLP. I'm actually going to put it on here. That way it'll kind of spread, clean up. CLP is a good kind of all around. And just run it through. There you go. You can also do these loops on the ends here. You can put larger pieces of cloths in here or put some patches in here and kind of help clean it out. Or you can use this as a pull through if something gets stuck in there. But just run this a few times, and these bore snakes do a really good job, especially for like a smooth bore type shotgun like this. And then work on the outside. You could do the hops as well if you wanted to, depending on how dirty it is and if you really want to go that route. But the all-around CLP works pretty well. Take a quick look. Oh yeah. You can see that right there. It's already starting to look real good. If you want, you can also wrap patches around here. Typical to kind of how you would clean a rifle or a pistol. If you had a typical brush you'd run through them, you can wrap a patch around, kind of get a bit better clean, but totally up to you. I'm just going to do it one more time. You don't need to do a whole lot for this, but I will put on the outsides here just a bunch of CLP. And kind of let that run through. And that's all you need for this bore snake. Take a look. Oh yeah, it's looking fine, honestly. All right, now take some patches. And just get in here and wipe. And that's all you're doing is kind of cleaning it off. Worry about lubrication at the end here. You can use the little pick if you need to. If it's really fouled in here and it's really stuck on, you could also go and get some hops on here or just start with the CLP. A little bit of CLP on there now. Just kind of help clean it out. And clean this out a little bit more. Getting all the cracks here. It's already looking real good. And if you want, go hit it all the way down the barrel here. A little bit of CLP on the barrel, it's not a bad thing. This is actually a little gas ring right here. This part might be a good part to kind of clean up because it seals that gas in. So you can kind of see it's going to be pretty filthy in here. This part might be a good spot for some hops, depending on how long it's been since you cleaned up this kind of gas ring system right here. That's where all the gas kind of stops. You can kind of see it's absolutely filthy. You could also run the actual blue towels if you'd like. Again, user preference. Starting to clean up a little bit. But this is important right here. And then this piece, I'd say that's pretty good. Not too worried about the barrel. All this oil is going to dry up anyways. This piece right here is going to put some oil around it. Let it soak a second. Let it drip down. Grab a patch. And then just spin it around. Yeah, see? Look, it's not black at all. It's silver. Get around all these rings here. Get the inside. Get more patches in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but good to keep these clean. All right, one more. I'll move to the actual receiver and the rest of the gas system. Okay. Now you got that. There you go. Barrel is done for now. Move to here. Now this part is what I was saying about with these blue towels. Honestly, it just saves you patches. Like, you don't want to really burn through patches because a lot of it's just all gunked up, and it's just a good quick wipe down will help with not wasting 10 patches on here. Now you could also take the release, let it go forward. Now this is where it would have been good to be able to take this off, but we're going to work with what we have. So do a quick wipe down here underneath that spring. Now the goal is to not leave any residue from either the patches or these towels. You don't want to leave any kind of cotton fibers or anything in there. And the hops could help here too if it's real bad. Help dissolve some of this stuff. This is just coming up just fine now. Alright, get some here. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is take a patch here. Some CLP. Drop it in here, get that pick. Again, this would run much easier if I can get to the axis of this. I'm just going to run through each area here. Try to do the best I can. Run around these rails. And under here is a good spot to kind of clean. You can kind of see it gets a little bit built up. Good to just get one of them in there. You can use the tipped in pick there if you want, or you just run it around the inside like that. Just get that in there. There you go. We'll be oiling up all these parts here when we're done. Another patch, squirt of oil. It's already looking much better. Wish I can get a little bit cleaner in there, but if you miss a little bit, it's no big deal on the actual magazine too. The big thing is to make sure these rails are clean and clear, because you want to make sure this functions nice and smooth, like so. So you can see it is a very smooth action there. And I want to keep it that way. And now that you have the bolt face right here, let's say grab a patch. You may want a wire brush here. Again, it really depends on how bad it is. But you want to get that bolt face clean. You want to take a pick, get behind the extractor. The extractor is right in here. You can also hit it again when we pull it back. Yeah, it's right there. Because that is something that people miss, and I think it's important to have, so you have good surface to grab that shell. All right. Actually manually rack it this way now. Alright, so now that it's locked back, got a couple more things to do and then we'll oil it up and be done. Take a patch, get some oil on there. Want to hit the tube again. Again, there's some oil underneath this part here. Would have been nice to get that off, but what are you going to do? If you can't get it off though, definitely want to hit inside here as well. Yeah, a lot of the carbon doesn't seem to be kind of going back towards the bolt here, so you really want to just get in this area here. Hold this back, because you'll be able to release that if you hit what's holding this here. There's a rod right behind here. So we should hold that back. Get all this down in here. See, it's really not too bad. Up top here. The ramp down here. You can get down in the ramp from here as well. The front of the magazine tube. See, it really didn't get that bad. Hit your release. Lets us come forward. And I keep using this a little bit more. Get on here. Get behind there. Get back in here. Alright, I'm going to do one more on the inside here, and then we'll loop this up and get out of here. Put it back in there. Because I think it's in pretty good shape. Hold the lift gate up a bit. That front there. Push forward, which is good. Move this back into place. There you go. Hit this area one more time. There we go. Alright. Alright, that's pretty good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put this back together. Alright, so, run forward here. Clean up all the dirty swabs here. First things first, get this barrel back on, and what we can do before we do that is run a little bit of oil, a couple of drops here along these rails. Alright, and then in here, you can kind of see how this is going to go back in there. There's not a lot of wear marks on here, except for a little bit up front here, so I'm just going to put a drop on here and then a drop on the bottom here, because it's riding along right here. This is kind of where it's pushing back. So it's a drop in there, and that's going to work itself in. Going to put this back in. It's going to need a little bit of help. So you're going to want to go just kind of wiggle it back in place, like so. And now it's already much smoother to put in there than it was before. Take your little piece right here that you pull out first time. You're going to want to spin it back on into place. Click it till it's nice and tight. Take your hand guard, slide it back into place. Make sure it's seated nice and tight there. And then take your last one right here that holds the handguard on and tighten it down as best you can. You could put some Loctite on here if you'd like, because this is the part that gets loose. I did notice like the handguard came kind of loose after a while as this heated up. On the end, it's just, just polymer, so it's going to kind of flex a little bit, pushing this around. So I would go and make that nice and tight. And then check the function. If you want, you can wipe up some of this excess on here. But you don't have to. If you don't want to, even spread this around a bit. Now that's back together. And that is ready to go. That is super smooth. Function works great. Ready to go to the range. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, hit them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. Really helps me out. Head over to Instagram, follow me there, like us on Facebook for all the latest and greatest deals on the internet, and I'll see you guys in the next review.